If it becomes your habit to think about a person, understand that these three things are happening too. The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. Blaise Pascal. If it becomes your habit to think about a person, understand that these three things are happening to that person. Sometimes, without realizing it, a person begins to live in your thoughts. You wake up and they're the first name that crosses your mind. You go to bed and somehow their face appears before you close your eyes. You try to distract yourself, work, music, people, but they return again and again, and you start to ask yourself, why can't I stop thinking about them? Is this love? Is this attachment, or is it something spiritual? Something beyond human explanation. Let me tell you something powerful today. When it becomes your habit to think about a person, when your mind, heart, and soul constantly revolve around someone, three invisible things begin to happen to that person, too. Even if they're miles away, even if you haven't spoken in months, even if they pretend they've forgotten you. Energy doesn't lie. And in this universe, thoughts are energy. Every thought you send out travels like a wave, touches the person you think about, and comes back to you with a response. Sometimes in feelings, sometimes in dreams, sometimes in sudden memories. 1. Your thoughts start reaching their subconscious mind. When someone continuously occupies your mind, don't dismiss it as just thinking too much. That is a psychological signal, a real energetic pull that works deeper than logic. Be aware, when your thoughts circle around the same person day after day, your mind isn't just wandering, it's reaching. You're forming a vibrational bond, an invisible bridge that connects your thoughts to their subconscious mind. And this isn't mystical nonsense. It's how female psychology and psychology tricks often work in silence. You might stay silent, but your presence speaks. You might not text her, yet she suddenly views your story, reacts to your post, or sends a random message after days of no contact. Don't call it coincidence. Call it resonance. Your mind has already entered her emotional radar. Our subconscious is like a satellite dish. It picks up signals especially from people who think of us intensely, emotionally, and consistently. Thoughts with strong emotions, love, longing, jealousy, pain, don't simply fade into nothing. They travel like frequencies. They linger. And sometimes they disturb. Ever seen her name pop up just when you were thinking of her? That's not luck, that's alignment. Be careful, because when you think of someone deeply, you're not just thinking, you're transmitting, and the human aura responds to that silent frequency. That is why some people suddenly feel warmth, or a strange sadness, or the urge to call someone they haven't spoken to in months. They can't explain it, but their subconscious has already been touched by your energy. This is where psychology tricks get real. If what you feel is calm and genuine, they may feel unexpected peace. If your mind is chaotic, jealous, or needy, they may feel confusion and emotional tension without knowing why. You must understand, every thought carries a tone, every emotion carries weight. And the subconscious, especially in female psychology, listens more than the conscious mind ever admits. So don't underestimate the power of your focus. Don't let obsessive thoughts control you, because obsession is energy with no direction. Be intentional. Think with clarity. Feel with maturity. And send only the kind of signals you want to receive back. Because the universe doesn't take orders, it mirrors your frequency. Be the calm, not the storm. Be the signal, not the noise. That is how you gain real psychological power. Not by chasing, not by begging, but by understanding that the mind is a transmitter, the heart is an antenna, and your energy arrives long before your words ever do. If it's becoming a habit to think about someone, don't panic, pause. Ask yourself, what am I really sending? Because thoughts are more than thoughts, they are presence. And presence lingers long after you leave the room. That's not superstition. That's psychology, psychology tricks wrapped in silence, female psychology spoken through energy. 2. Their energy field begins to mirror yours. You've heard the saying, two hearts that are connected can feel each other, even miles apart. Don't dismiss it as soft poetry. That is physics. Human physics. Life force physics. Every person walks around carrying an electromagnetic field, an aura, charged with emotions, fears, desires, and unspoken thoughts. When you habitually think about someone, your energy doesn't just stay inside your skull. It travels. It reaches. It looks for a match. And if their emotional frequency is even slightly open to yours, their energy begins to synchronize. That is why sometimes you think of them and a few seconds later, they pop up online. Or you feel a sudden wave of sadness and somehow they text you, okay? Don't call it coincidence. Be smarter than that. Be a high value man, the kind who studies reality, not excuses. When your thoughts focus on someone at 2 a.m., they may toss and turn in their sleep without knowing why. When your mind calms, they might feel peace out of nowhere. Your aura touches theirs like ripples meeting on a still lake, silent but powerful. That is the real secret behind how to fall in love, not manipulation, not chasing, but understanding the electricity between two emotional worlds. Your thoughts are not private. They're broadcast signals. Don't underestimate the power of attention. It is energy. It is influence. It is connection. When you think of someone with warmth, forgiveness, or gratitude, both hearts may begin to heal. You lift the connection. Something inside them becomes lighter, not knowing you are the reason. But when your thoughts are soaked in anger, obsession, jealousy, or fear, the energy locks up. You don't just block yourself, you block them too. That is why the universe often whispers, let go. Not because they don't matter, but because love must flow, not cage itself. You must remember this. Love is not possession. It is resonance. What you send out, you receive. What you hold on to, you become. Thinking lovingly, without expectation, turns your energy into medicine. A high-value man learns this early. He learns how to fall in love without losing himself. He learns when to stay and when to release. And most importantly, he learns that emotions have a frequency, and someone out there is already tuned in. You may notice changes in them, calmer thoughts, steady emotions, clearer decisions. That is not random. That is resonance. You are always affecting them, either with chaos or calm. So choose carefully. Be responsible with your emotions. Be disciplined with your inner world. You must treat your thoughts like a broadcast because whatever you send becomes part of their emotional weather forecast. So if you really want to learn how to fall in love the right way, don't chase. Don't cling. Be steady. Be wise. Be a high-value man. Let your thoughts carry peace, not panic. Because when you master your energy, you don't just connect with others. You attract what's truly meant for you. 3. Destiny begins to rearrange the circumstances between you. Now comes the third and most mysterious truth. When you constantly think about someone with deep emotion, destiny starts responding. The universe begins to rearrange situations, events, and coincidences just to bring you two into energetic alignment again. Could be as small as their name appearing everywhere. A song playing that reminds you of them, a dream where they talk to you, or suddenly meeting them when you least expect it. These are not random moments. They're signs of alignment because your thoughts are energy, and energy creates matter. The more consistently you think of someone, the more you pull them into your life's vibration. But here's the secret. The universe doesn't bring people back for the same story. It brings them back for healing, lessons, and growth. Maybe you're meant to close an old chapter peacefully. Maybe you're meant to start a new one with more understanding. Or maybe you're just meant to realize that love never ends. It simply changes form. If your bond was built on true emotion, the universe will give you chances to reconnect through messages, dreams, synchronicities, or even mutual events. But if it was meant to teach you self-worth, the universe will instead guide you to peace within yourself. Either way, when you think of them with emotion, something always happens either inside you or around you. Understanding the meaning behind these three things. When it becomes a habit to think of someone, it's a sign of unfinished energy. It means your souls are still in conversation through silence, through distance, through time. It doesn't always mean they're your soulmate or twin flame. Sometimes it simply means they came into your life to awaken something, love, patience, forgiveness, or strength. Every person you can't stop thinking about is a mirror showing you something you must understand about yourself. If you feel pain, it means you must heal. If you feel longing, it means you must learn self-love. If you feel peace, it means you've understood the lesson. The universe uses people to teach us what our soul still needs to learn. And thinking about them is not weakness, it's awareness. It's your heart remembering what it once felt deeply for. How to transform that habit into healing energy. If your thoughts are constant, don't fight them, guide them. Because the more you resist, the stronger they become. Instead, try this every time their face appears in your mind. Instead of sadness or craving, say silently, I send you peace. I send you love. I release you to your own journey as I continue mine. This simple affirmation turns emotional attachment into spiritual release. It doesn't erase them from your heart. It simply sets both souls free. When you do this consistently, you'll notice something magical. They'll start to feel that peace, too. The emotional tug will fade. You'll both begin to heal. And one day you'll realize you can think of them with gratitude, not pain. That's when you've truly mastered the connection. The spiritual truth behind constant thoughts. Many spiritual teachers say that when you can't stop thinking of someone, their higher self is thinking of you too. Souls communicate on frequencies that words cannot reach. You might be awake thinking of them, and they might be dreaming of you. You might be praying for them, and they might feel a sudden comfort without knowing why. This is soul energy, infinite, timeless, and beyond logic. But even here, balance is important. If your thoughts come from love, they uplift both of you. If they come from obsession, they drain both of you. So let your thoughts be light. Let them travel with blessings, not need. And remember, you can love someone deeply without holding them tightly. 4. Your mind begins to learn the lesson that person brought into your life. When someone keeps crossing your mind, not just once in a while, but daily, like a tune you didn't ask for but can't stop humming, your mind isn't just wandering. It's working. It's trying to decode something important. That is your subconscious digging for meaning, and it does not waste energy for no reason. Don't ignore it. Be aware. Be smart. When a person occupies your thoughts persistently, it's rarely about romance or nostalgia alone. It's often about a lesson your life is trying to teach you. This is where psychology tricks and female psychology quietly step in. The human mind doesn't just remember, it tries to understand. Sometimes the person you're thinking about came to show you what love feels like, authentic or painful. Maybe they were there to teach you patience, because not everything you want will arrive when you want it. Or perhaps they appeared to show you boundaries, because without them you may lose pieces of yourself while trying to keep someone else. Don't let that happen. You must recognize when your thoughts are actually messages in disguise. That is how your subconscious operates, through quiet nudges, repeated images, sudden memories, unfinished conversations. Once you understand this, you begin to see that person not as a wound, but as a silent teacher, and that changes everything. Don't let the lesson slip by. Be brave enough to ask, why did they matter so much? What shift did they trigger inside me? If you avoid those questions, you delay your growth. But the moment you confront them, the pain begins to loosen and clarity walks in like sunlight after a storm. Your heart doesn't heal because time passes. It heals because meaning is found. That is emotional maturity. That is strength. The mind evolves the moment understanding arrives. And here's the twist. Sometimes you weren't supposed to keep that person. You were only supposed to meet them. Sometimes the experience wasn't meant to be permanent. It was meant to be transformative. That is one of the most powerful psychology tricks life plays on us. So don't chase what already served its purpose. Be wise enough to accept the lesson and strong enough to let go of the teacher. And yes, this even applies when female psychology confuses you, because confusion is often the first stage of clarity. You must not resist it, you must translate it. So the next time someone keeps appearing in your thoughts, don't just feel it, analyze it. Don't just remember, interpret. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It is your personal guide, whispering, there is something here you must understand. Listen to it. Let the lesson rise. Let the pain teach you before it leaves you. That is how the heart not only survives, it becomes wiser, quieter, stronger. And if thinking about someone has become your habit, don't see it as weakness. See it as life pointing at the page you still need to read. Only when you read it, really read it, can you finally close that chapter without regret. 5. Your prayers create positive energy around them. There's a moment when your mind goes quiet and suddenly their name appears. No phone, no text, just a thought, I hope you're okay, or may you find peace. That simple line, silently spoken, is not useless. It is energy, real energy. And whether you believe it or not, it travels. That is why you must understand this. When your heart prays for someone, your intention shapes reality. Love doesn't always need a stage, sometimes it only needs silence. Don't underestimate those quiet sentences you send out into the world. A prayer is not weakness, it's strength without noise. It means your ego has stepped aside so your soul can speak. When you say, may you be happy, what you're really saying is, I don't need to control you. I just want the best for you. That is emotional maturity. That is how to fall in love, not with obsession, but with dignity. Be a high value man. A high value man doesn't beg, he doesn't chase, he blesses. Understand this clearly. Holding on is easy. Letting go with grace? That takes courage. Sometimes loving them means not calling, not texting, not demanding anything in return. You must know the difference between attachment and affection. Attachment clings. Affection sets free. Don't say, I need you. Say, I wish you well. That is not weakness. That is evolution. Every blessing you give without expectation returns to you eventually, maybe not through them, but through life itself. Energy doesn't disappear. It simply finds another door to knock on. So when you choose to send love instead of longing, you're not only healing their heart, you're healing your own. This is how to fall in love with your own life again. This is how high-value man walks forward, with purpose, not pain. Most men think love is about possession, but real love is about presence, even when you're absent. Don't pray to pull them back. Pray that both of you become stronger. Pray that both of you grow. Pray that both of you find peace, even if it's on different paths. That is not the end of a love story. Sometimes, that is how a real one begins. In the end, remember this. If your heart still speaks gently about someone you no longer hold, that's not weakness. That's wisdom. And wisdom is exactly what a high-value man is built from. 6. You begin a journey back to yourself. Let's get one thing straight. Thinking about someone constantly isn't always about them. Most of the time, it's about you. It's not obsession, it's a signal. A flare shot into the sky by your own soul saying, hey, you left something behind. Come find it. Don't ignore it. Don't numb it. Don't drown it in noise, alcohol, or distractions. That feeling is not weakness. That feeling is a compass. Carl Jung said it best, who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. When your mind keeps circling around a person, it's not always love. Sometimes it's unfinished business with yourself. A missing piece. A forgotten dream. A wound that never healed because you learned to walk on it instead of fixing it. You must search for it. You must rebuild it. That is your real mission. This is the moment when a masculine energy man either rises or breaks. When he remembers who he was or disappears into who he is not. Let's be honest. Modern life will bury you if you let it. Screams, opinions, news, temptations. A million voices competing for your attention, but none of them guiding you toward your purpose. And purpose, my friend, is oxygen. Without it, a man suffocates slowly. Don't let your thoughts orbit around someone who walked away while your dreams sit untouched and starving. You want to learn how to fall in love again? Start by falling back in love with your own life. You want to become a high-value man? Start by treating your potential like it actually matters. A man who hopes to attract a woman must first attract his own power. That is how you command respect. That is how to fall in love without losing yourself. That is how women notice you without you having to chase them, by standing firmly inside your purpose. Because here's the truth, the person you keep thinking about is often a mirror, reflecting every silent wound you haven't healed yet. Don't fear that mirror. Don't turn away from it. Be brave enough to stare into it. Look, study, understand. That reflection is not just pain, it is guidance. It shows you exactly where your strength must grow. Rumi reminded us, the wound is the place where the light enters you. So let the light in. Let the pain teach you. Let your masculine energy sharpen, not shatter. You must understand this sacred truth. A man builds himself twice, first when he is strong, and again when he is broken. That is how warriors are made. That is how legends are written. Every time your mind drifts toward that person, use it as fuel, a reminder, a call to return to your path. Don't just sit and think, act. Motion creates healing. Momentum creates clarity. Do something powerful. Be bold. Be relentless. Be inconveniently, unapologetically alive. Go lift weights. Start a business. Learn a skill. Restore an old dream. Rebuild discipline. Forgive your past. Plan your future. That is how a high-value man emerges. That is how to fall in love with life again, not through fantasy, but through effort. Heal everything that made you forget who you were. Because when you rise, truly rise, their presence in your mind fades naturally. Not because you forced it, but because you outgrew it. You evolved. You walked out of the old version of yourself and left no forwarding address. Peace doesn't come when you erase the past. Peace comes when you no longer need it. That is victory. That is mastery. That is masculine energy and motion. Your mind may wander toward them, but your feet must walk toward your future. So listen closely. This is not about chasing someone. It's about chasing purpose. The day you understand that is the day your life changes forever. Because purpose is magnetic. Purpose attracts clarity. Purpose teaches you how to fall in love without losing your soul. The woman you dream of isn't waiting at the finish line. She's waiting at the starting line, waiting for the day you begin again, waiting for the man who chooses growth over memory, waiting for the man who builds his life before building a relationship. That is the path of a high-value man. That is the path few take, and the path every great man eventually finds. So go build it, forge it, walk it with pride. Your future is not ahead of you, it is waiting at the exact moment you choose to return to yourself. Now move. Your life is calling you back. 7. The universe prepares you for a new chapter. Sometimes life doesn't speak, it nudges. And one of its favorite nudges is this. A person suddenly takes over your thoughts. Morning coffee? She's there. Long drive? She's there. Quiet night? She's there even louder. But don't immediately mistake that for love or obsession. Be sharp. You must understand that sometimes the mind uses one person as a mirror, a sign, even a wake-up call. That is when psychology tricks play their clever game. It's not always about that person. It's about the shift happening inside you. Life often uses female psychology as the tool to grab your attention, but the message is actually about you. Your subconscious prepares before your reality changes. It rehearses. It trains. It stretches. And a strong mental fixation may just be your destiny warming up in the background. Don't chase the distraction, study it. Ask yourself, why her? Why no? Maybe you're ready for a new chapter. Maybe your values are changing. Maybe you've outgrown who you used to be. When your heart grows, it looks for direction, and sometimes it paints a face on that direction just so you'll notice. This is one of the most fascinating psychology tricks the mind ever plays. Disguise transformation as attachment. What feels like longing might be evolution. What seems like desire might actually be momentum. And what looks like weakness may secretly be your inner strength trying to break through the surface. You must recognize the difference between emotional gravity and emotional guidance. Female psychology often suggests that women trigger emotional clarity in men, but it's not always meant to bind you to her. Sometimes it's meant to push you to you. Don't hold on to the image if the purpose behind it is movement. That is your warning. That is your lesson. That is your green light. When one person occupies your thoughts too deeply, it can be the mind's way of saying, pay attention. You're entering a new phase. You might meet someone completely unexpected. You might uncover a passion that was buried for years. You might finally let go of patterns that kept you stuck. The person you think about could simply be the door you walk through, not the room you stay in. Be bold enough to step away from illusions. If she is on your mind, learn from it, but don't make her the destination if destiny only meant her to be the signal. That is how emotional maturity is built. That is how men evolve. Your thoughts are not chains, they are messengers. Don't silence them, but don't worship them either. The universe has subtle ways of reshaping your path, And sometimes it begins with a single person quietly echoing in your mind. They may never become your partner, but they might become the reason you become stronger, better, sharper, more you. So listen carefully. When your thoughts start to change, your life will soon follow. Don't fight it. Don't fear it. Be ready. Your next chapter may already be waiting, just beyond the face you keep thinking about. And when it arrives, you'll finally understand the hidden power behind psychology tricks and the unspoken signals within female psychology. Your mind wasn't leading you to her, it was leading you back to yourself. 8. Your heart begins to mature emotionally. When you catch yourself thinking about someone far too often, don't be fooled. Your heart is secretly evolving. That's right. It's not weakness. It's growth wearing a disguise. At first, you may think you're just hooked on their presence, waiting for a text, a sign, a clue that you're still on their radar. But suddenly, something shifts. You stop longing for them and start craving peace. That's not giving up. That is emotional maturity quietly walking in. This is when psychology tricks start playing behind the scenes, the same kind you'd find in female psychology, teaching you that comfort from others feels nice, but comfort from within? That's power. Be smart. Don't mistake attachment for affection. Don't confuse desire with dependence. You must learn the difference between connection and addiction. That is where your strength begins to take shape. Once your emotional foundation becomes stronger, you stop chasing reassurance and start building self-respect. You no longer wonder, are they thinking about me? Instead, a better question rises, am I loving myself enough? That is the turning point. That is the hidden graduation ceremony of the heart. The person you used to ache for no longer feels like a wound. They become the reason you learn to stand taller. They transform from your pain into your stepping stone. And here's the interesting part based on psychology tricks. The more you shift your focus from them to yourself, the more stable your mind becomes. Female psychology often shows that the moment you stop begging for presents, you reclaim your value. And this works for men too, especially between 35 and 70 when the real game of life begins. Be brave enough to stop rehearsing conversations in your head. Be wise enough to stop overanalyzing their silence. Real strength is quiet. Real healing doesn't make noise. It simply teaches you to sleep better at night. You must understand this clearly. Missing someone is human, but losing yourself for them is a mistake. Don't wait for closure. Create your own. Don't keep your heart parked in the past. Open the engine and move forward. When your thoughts still circle around them, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're weak. It may just mean your heart is doing push-ups, getting stronger every day. That is emotional evolution, subtle yet undeniable. And when that evolution settles in, you finally understand one truth. The goal was never to make them stay. The goal was to make yourself complete. Remember this final rule from the grand playbook of psychology tricks and female psychology. The moment you become your own safe place, no one else gets to become your weakness. 9. Your soul enters a period of healing and rebirth. When a person begins to appear in your thoughts repeatedly, it's not just a random mental pattern. It is your soul sending a message. That is the first sign that something deeper is happening. It's a psychological signal, an emotional trigger, a spiritual alarm. You must pay attention. You must face it. As Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. If it becomes a habit to think about someone, understand that your internal world is entering a phase of healing and rebirth. This is not weakness. This is transformation. Healing begins when you stop asking, why do I still think of them? And start asking, what is this thought trying to teach me? That is emotional maturity. That is masculine energy. That is how strong men quietly attract women without effort, because clarity is magnetic. Confidence built on self-awareness is hard to resist. Your mind replays their presence because your past needs recognition, your feelings demand evaluation, and your future is preparing for change. You are being shaped. You are being tested. You are being prepared. Look back at everything, your love, your hurt, your hopes, your disappointments. See the pattern. Understand your role. Don't deny the truth. Don't bury the emotion. Don't lie to yourself. A man's strength begins with his honesty. Let the situation forge you, not destroy you. That is mental discipline. That is emotional intelligence. That is how masculinity evolves. Modern life often teaches men to distract themselves, to drown their thoughts with noise, screens, alcohol, shallow conversations, but that only delays the lesson. Don't escape. Don't numb your feelings. Face them. Decode them. Use them. As the great Stoic Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. This thought, this recurring image of someone, is not a curse. It is a tool. It is a signal. It is a doorway to a stronger, wiser version of yourself. You don't need to forget them, and you don't need to hold on to them either. You must keep only the purest part of the memory, the lesson, the growth, the wisdom, and discard the pain. Let it refine you, not confine you. That is how you honor the past and still dominate the future. That is how you shift your masculine energy from reaction to direction. This mindset attracts women naturally because real attraction forms around purpose, not desperation. Your mission builds your value. Your emotional strength builds your reputation. Your disciplined thoughts build your leadership. Don't chase validation. Don't cling to what's gone. Don't wait for closure from others. Give it to yourself. As Viktor Frankl wrote, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So take command. Give structure to your thoughts. Shape them. Direct them. Rise above them. The world becomes softer when you become stronger. The conflict ends when you stop resisting growth. Life starts sending new opportunities when you stop begging the past to return. That is the quiet miracle of emotional healing. That is how masculine energy evolves. That is how men gain presence, the kind of presence that attracts women without trying. You must build mental clarity. You must stand firmly inside your own skin. You must decide that every experience, good or bad, is fuel for intelligence, not an excuse for weakness. Don't drift. Don't overthink. Don't consume your energy replaying scenarios. Instead, process, understand, advance. One decision at a time. One lesson at a time. One victory at a time. That is how inner power is built. That is how you master your life rather than merely live it. Tell yourself now, I choose strength over confusion. I choose direction over hesitation. I choose growth over comfort. Repeat it until it becomes part of your identity. Your thoughts will test you, but they will not defeat you. Your past happened to shape you, not to shame you. And when you finally understand this, your soul heals, your mind sharpens, your masculine energy heightens. You will walk differently. You will speak with more intention. You will start to attract women who respect your silence and admire your discipline, because a man who owns his thoughts owns his life. As Nietzsche reminded us, he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Let your why be strength. Let your why be evolution. Let your why be the man you decide to become, starting right now. Stand tall. Think clearly. Live deliberately. And remember, thoughts don't choose you. You choose what to do with them. That choice is where your true power begins. So, before we wrap up, thank you for spending this moment with me. If this message reached your heart, it means you're someone who feels deeply, and that is a strength, not a weakness. Remember this. Thinking about someone often isn't madness. It's energy, memory, and fate at work. Your thoughts have power, and they travel further than you imagine. So use them wisely. Wish well, hold love, but don't hold on too tightly. Because what's truly meant for you never needs force. It finds its way back with quiet certainty. My advice to you is simple. Be kind to your heart. Think with awareness. Love with dignity. And always let go with grace when it's time, because sometimes releasing someone is the first step to finding yourself. Thank you for watching, my friend. Stay strong, stay mindful, and stay human. This is Stoicism Win. If you want to explore more hidden truths of the mind and heart, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. Until next time, may you find peace, love, and purpose in every connection. Take care and see you in the next video.